Together with ESPN's Take Back Sports initiative, Disney Cruise Line is helping kids across the Bahamas access sports. They've teamed up with Buddy Hield of the Atlanta Hawks of Bahamian to celebrate the opening of a renovated court at Woodcock Primary School in Nassau. Tiffany Green sat down with Buddy to learn more about his foundation and why this is so important to local kids.
We'll bring in these wonderful island vibes from this beautiful Disney Wish ship here in Nassau, sitting next to Bahamian basketball icon and NBA veteran Buddy Hield. Man, it feels good to be home. What's it feel like every time you get a chance to step foot on home soil?
Just like you said, it feels like home. It's a relief, fresh air, beautiful people, island vibes. You can't beat it. The best place in the world.
You come back home quite frequently, but you were here with a purpose, with your foundation, and we had an opportunity to celebrate the opening of a brand new basketball court for the Disney Cruise Line, part of their Play Project initiative. When you saw the faces on the kids, their expressions, and the vibrancy of the court, like, how rewarding was that?
It's so rewarding because, like I say, you impact kids with sports all the time, and I'm a big fan of that, and it's the way that kids can grow and build their confidence and figure out themselves who they are as young individuals growing up. I'm just glad to see that. As a kid, I had to see my facial expression, eager to get out there, eager to play the court, and really utilize it too. And I sure those kids will utilize that court, and hopefully we can make some superstars with that for sure.
You just said something that made me think of the phrase, like, small start, big finish. And I love, as a part of your journey, right? You're building your own basketball goal as a kid, and now you're an NBA superstar. But in terms of those kids who just want to hoop and don't have that opportunity, what do you encourage them to do?
Just find your why. Like you said, I start off with a great court, building you can find your purpose when there's not the real thing, where there's a garbage can, and you figure out what can keep you activated, what can keep you going, what keep you motivated. And that was my motivation. I couldn't go to the park. My mom won't let me go to the park, so I bring the park to me. So that was my. Or put on the pole, and when the neighbors try to take it down, I pull it back again, and I let them know, like, this is my goal. This is my childhood, and I want to enjoy it, and you're not gonna kill my fun. And just find your why and find your purpose, and have fun doing it.
You have done so much work throughout the Bahamas and beyond. What do you look to further accomplish with the Buddy Hield Foundation?
I want to do so much. I want to eventually build a school, hospital, just help them to healthcare. Our healthcare system is probably not the best, but I can find a way to build a clinic that I can help all over the Bahamas, and not just not one island, that can be impactful for others, and to save more lives.
You've got the ESPN Take Back Sports initiative. Yeah. How do you help them stay engaged or to get involved? Why sports?
Sports is where you find yourself. You're trying to find your purpose. People create their identity through sports, their emotions. Sometimes when we have so much stuff going on at home, we want to express it through sports, and I feel like it's a good way to express your emotions. And stress reliever, and it's so much things we can do, and it brings so much joy to you and satisfaction. I still remember childhood games I play, and I still play with my kids, and it's fun.
We didn't just see the opening of the court, but also the opening of the door of imagination. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
The thing that is amazing, you mentioned, in our TV-only segment, is that this trophy that's sitting here between us right now, that the revisionist history is that you guys didn't lose a game or do anything. To me, the most amazing accomplishment, not just obviously the wins and losses this trophy exists, was the ability to play like you played together forever.
Absolutely.
And the team was kind of, thrown together through a portal and through also recruiting, obviously, with Trey, just as one, and Elliott being another one who came from North Carolina, and Yaxel and Morez and a Daimara. How the hell did you guys do that?
Well, I'll give a lot of the credit to those new guys being able to adjust to Michigan, and us having the flexibility we had, to the three guys who weren't mentioned yet. And those were guys who were on the Michigan team the year before.
Correct.
Will Cheddar, Amari Burnett, and Roddy Gale.
Right.
Because all three, as seniors, could have wanted more for themselves in their senior year. More minutes, more money, more shots, more opportunity to maybe get to the NBA. And they were all committed to sacrificing a little bit of those things so that we could win. They knew that Yax would get a lot of the media attention. I mean, he asked for it most of the time. And that we had this 7'4" guy who people were always going to be really intrigued by. And Elliott, as the point guard, would generate a lot of attention. But those guys never batted an eye about those things because they really wanted to win. They wanted to win for Michigan. And I think that's the thing that ultimately shone through the season. And so even when difficult moments arose, they were able to connect with that one common goal and say, this is what we came here for. And they kept that the focus of the season.
Stephen A., you were on the air when this news broke. You've had a few hours to let it sink in, and a couple decades of writing experience in Philly. How do you feel about LeBron James, the Sixer?
Well, it was shocking to say the least, because I always thought that, the love and affection that he obviously has for Cleveland and Cleveland has for him, because that's home, is not something he would dangle in their face and then go to another Eastern Conference team. That was just my belief. So I was shocked by the decision for him to go to Philadelphia, but I can't knock it. It's clearly a great move on his part. When you consider the fact that Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Jaylen Brown is on the same team, that's your backcourt for years to come. That is set. Joel Embiid obviously is problematic because of his injury history, but you're talking about a guy like LeBron James, although 41 years of age, or approaching 42, entering his 24th season in the NBA. This is a man that played 4 or 5 positions for the Los Angeles Lakers last season. He spent some time playing the center spot. So at 6'9", 260, in the event that Joel Embiid can't go, you never know if they needed LeBron to do something like that he could do that. Plus, obviously, he's natural at a 4, natural as a 3. He's a basketball savant. He's a leader. He's a 4-time champion. And the last time he was in the Eastern Conference, he went to 8 straight NBA Finals. That's what we have to remember about LeBron James. So considering this roster, considering the fact that it's a 43-year drought by the city of brotherly love since they last won an NBA championship, knowing what's at stake, he's going to be in that bubble. It's going to be electric in the city of Philadelphia. I spoke to Charles Barkley earlier today. I spoke to Allen Iverson earlier today. Both of them are excited that he's in Philadelphia. They know what that city is about, what it can be about when they've got a potential winner on their hands. And make no mistake about it, the Philadelphia 76ers are one of the top 2 teams, if not the top team in the Eastern Conference right now, with a lot of people believing that the Philadelphia 76ers are going to be in the finals in June.
Looking at this roster, though, it's absurd. And the lineup, you got a big 4, plus the guy who just finished 3rd in Rookie of the Year. Stephen A., when you look at this lineup, who is under the most pressure for this to work and work well?
I believe it's LeBron James. Make no mistake about it. I mean, Jaylen Brown is an MVP candidate who just finished averaging 28.7 points per game. Tyrese Maxey as the 4th leading scorer in the league. Tyrese Maxey was the 5th leading scorer in the league, averaging 28.3. VJ Edgecombe was a rookie, a top 3 rookie in the NBA, giving you about 16 a night with elements or moments of the spectacular. Joel Embiid is perpetually injured, so the bottom line is what pressure is going to be on him. The pressure is going to be on him to stay healthy, and no doctor on the planet has been able to figure that out, even in the age of technology. So it is a limited amount of pressure when it comes to him because it involves health as opposed to his game. But it's LeBron James because he's the basketball savant, because he's the leader, because he's the champion 4 times over, a league MVP 4 times over, because he's Mr. Box Office, because he's a big reason why people are going to be walking through the turnstiles. Not to mention the fact that if he can give you anything close to what you've seen him do over the past 22 years, that the Philadelphia 76ers, even without a healthy Joel Embiid, could still find themselves in the NBA Finals. That's how lethal of a roster they are. Of course, my New York Knicks will have something to say about that as the reigning, defending NBA champions with a level of cohesion and cohesiveness that the Philadelphia 76ers don't have right now. We got to look at a Maxey who just learned to be the number 1 option. We got to look at a Jaylen Brown who departed from Boston because he wanted to be a number 1 option, and he's a number 2. And now you got to look at LeBron James, who spent the last year lamenting the fact that he was a number 3 option for the first time in his illustrious career. So there's only one basketball. You got to figure a way to figure it out. But nobody's looking at Jaylen Brown or Tyrese Maxey or even Nick Nurse to some degree to figure it out. They're looking at LeBron James because he's got the resume, the credentials, the cachet, all right, and the resume to pull it off. It's an expectation when it comes to him. It's a hope for everybody else. That's why the pressure lies with him.
Pleasure to have Hall of Famer Michael Wilbon join us. LeBron's presence, Wilbon, has equated to a title at every stop for him. But how long of a process, pardon the pun, is this going to be for LeBron to gel with this new set of teammates and reach that championship potential?
I've been listening to my friends and colleagues, dear friends and colleagues, and you would think it's just add water, get a championship. I mean, this is fascinating news. It's wonderful news. I can't wait to see it all play out. But this does not happen overnight, and it's unlikely to happen in year 1. Let's go back for a second to when LeBron James was at his absolute athletic height, 2010-2011 season. He's playing with Dwayne Wade. Nobody on this roster is Dwayne Wade. He's playing with Chris Bosh. Those guys played, all 3 of them, 76 games or more that season, and they did not win the championship. It took a year. Now, this roster this is incredible. Again, we all want to watch it. We can't wait to opening night. Wish we could fast forward. Joel Embiid in his last 3 years, I won't take the order of games, but it's like 38, 19, and 39. If Joel Embiid is not out there for 50-plus games in all the playoffs, they're not winning anything. So they're going to need Joel Embiid. LeBron knows that. He knows how difficult. Winning a championship is hard. And we've seen one of the handful of greatest players of all time with great teammates. And, it took a little time, and it's going to take some time in Philadelphia. They got the right people, the roster. They've got Nick Nurse, as I'm glad has been said, who wears the championship ring. But the notion that they're going to roll the ball out on the floor and the Sixers are going to be better than the Knicks and be better than Oklahoma City and be better than San Antonio is dumb. It's not paying attention to the reality and the history of professional basketball.
Yeah, and to your point, the defending champ Knicks are the favorites to win the East right about now. Sixers are behind them by just a bit. But look, they're not the only two teams that are worth the conversation in the East overall. So how do you see that conference playing out?
Trevor, it's interesting with the conference. I was just sitting here jotting down teams. I'm going to some glasses here off the top of my head. And after I go Knicks, Sixers, and that's the order I'm willing to start the season in. How about Detroit? I don't know that they've done a lot in this offseason, but Detroit was threatening last year, certainly beat the Knicks around in the regular season. Cleveland, Orlando, Atlanta, which has done some interesting things. Miami, which I'm just now getting into. I'm not even sure that puts them top 6, maybe. How good is Boston? Still. It's not like they gave away their entire roster, even though I can't believe they're going to be playing ahead without Jaylen Brown. Charlotte got better. Indianapolis returns Tyrese Halliburton. You've got all of that in the East. I think I just named 10 teams. And then that doesn't even deal with what we're dealing with in the West with Oklahoma City and San Antonio. So that East, you're not going to have pigeons to just pile up victories on and get to 70. Like even the Wizards and the Bulls now will not be just homecoming opponents. There are only a couple of those in the East. Milwaukee looks like one of them to me. Brooklyn looks like one of them to me. I'm not sure there's anybody else in the East you can just count in on going into their place on a given night and saying, we got this. Not while you're building your team and you're figuring out how 5 guys with high usage, all brilliant basketball players in different ways, including the most brilliant in LeBron, how they're going to fit. It takes a while. So the notion that they're going to roll the ball out and just be, oh my God, the Globetrotters, or if I'm the Knicks, speaking of chip on shoulder, how about the New York Knicks right about now after they hear this? You think they don't want to start the season? They're the champions. It took them years. It took them disappointment and heartache to play through, and they finally did it. And if they're healthy, I'm taking the Knicks. Not even necessarily to win the whole thing, but certainly to come out of the Eastern Conference.